Hi everyone, and welcome to Rugania plays the Stanley Parable. Uh, have you played the Stanley Parable before? No, I have not. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. I'm gonna put it right there, because I can see the outline of it, just like right up here, the keyboard down here. Don't need it to be too dark for y'all. Okay, please enter the current time. It is 11:57. It is, hold on. Oh no, it is AM. What am I thinking? No, go up. My brain not braining right now. Yep. Accessibility settings can be accessed from the main menu. Okay. Wow, that got a little loud in my ears. I'm turning my volume down. Not turn the volume in the game down. Unless I need to, actually. Okay. No, I didn't need to change the volume down. Okay, let's get right into it. I've never played this game before, as y'all saw. Me click the no button. I know a lot of other people have played it, but I have not seen anyone play it. So hopefully this will be fun. The end is never. The end is never. The end is loading. Okay.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Mm-hmm.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor at his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
I mean, as long as you're
And
happy, you
then
know.
one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay. I have a conscience. Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Hello?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
They're just like copies on the printer. Okay.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Yeah, let's go. Dude, very bright outside, or we're in, anyone see the movie, the Belko experiment? Yeah. That's what this feels like.
Stanley clicked on literally every single door in the office because he doesn't pick up well on cues from his environment.
What do you mean? Okay, let's just go then. I gotta check every door though. I have to. Oh, hold on. Can I go there? Is it through this door? But, oh, I want to go there. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright. Oh, okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Did that slide just change? Who has the clicker? What do people want? Things. Happiness is scribbled out. Violet James, you are fired. Money, more money, things, but with money to buy more things. Graphics, graphic things, plus money. We have our new product. What is hot? Profits, profits. Okay. By corollary post review. Review. Teenagers. Why is... what? Space between the teenagers? Size of demographic. What? It's getting annoying. To do. Synergize core value. I can't say that word because I don't know how to pronounce it. Shift global market parade. Monetize free to play. Monetize free to play. What? No! Don't monetize it. Anything interesting on here? Okay. Broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, seems simple enough. Well, this is a change. I like this. Hold on, there's a door over here. Bathroom. Ooh. To be rich, is it a crime? To commit crimes, isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. Extreme bathrooms. This is nice. I would like to have a bathroom like this. I would like to have wallpaper like this in general. Just interior, just like that. Just nice. No secretary on duty either.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
The hell? Wall. house is this?
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Why does it sound like I'm tapping on a keyboard when I press E?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I'm sorry, what? I'm just... I'm more curious about this.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
427. I think that one was mine, wasn't it? Yeah, there it is. Right there. What the... Mind control. I thought that was a body there. That's just rope.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Okay.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own
No.
life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Would I? How do I... Maybe in this place over here called facility power? Okay. What does that say over there? I can't read that. No, I can't read that.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Maybe click the off button? But I kind of want to turn it back on. I'm fucked up.
Blackness. and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Alrighty then. Wait, why am I back here? What? Oh, look, the clock's actually moving. That's interesting. Is there something in here that I could do? Why does it sound like I'm clicking on a keyboard? I'm not... Okay, well, it's, okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No, 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 no. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
Alright, let's do it.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
Alright, let's do it!
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Okay. 437. 417. Where is that? 57. Where's that? There it is.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Alright. Wait a minute. Where's... Oh, there it is. I walked right past it.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
Okay, so this 417 right here. 415.
Now, back to door number 437.
Okay, let's go. Someone spilled their coffee. Wrong way. Wait, no, it's right here.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
Okay.
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Are we?
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
It's somewhere over here. 418, 419.
Yes, this is great. You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
Okay.
We've almost got it. Now the copy machine, do that one again.
Okay. Is there a copy machine in here that I could do, or I gotta run all the way back? Okay.
Finish it off, Stanley. 5 clicks on door 430. Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
Wasn't really thinking, to be honest, but cool. Alright, I can't seem to fully jump. I could kind of climb on stuff. Let's see. I want to get through there, though. Might be a way I can get around. Maybe I'll go through the right door instead.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Nah, I'm gonna go to the door on the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Yes,
Nice.
truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
This is nice, actually. I do like the soft blue colors, and then the dark blue furniture.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
It was, yes it was.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yeah, this is a tough one. Do I go through the door on the left? Because I see a light right there that I can get through. But there's this door over here. Alright, let's go through this door.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
No. Okay, this is interesting.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So
Yes,
now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Wait, you're looking through papers?
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Why is there a running vehicle here?
No, 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 no. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh,
Saw this
who
earlier.
am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this
What?
time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm? Okay, from the top.
Wait. What's going on?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. Any new doors open? See, this door's open over here, but I can't get into it. I don't think I can. Nope, okay.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
I kind of want to go this way, but I can't jump. Alright, oh, okay, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options. I want to go through this door. Oh. Well, this just... How does that loop back around? Okay, well, I chose that side. So let's go this way. This office doesn't have a number.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Wait, no! I was gonna go through the door.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. Need a door open? Anything? Okay. Oh, they're gone.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Okay. I can't even click on the door. See anything? I see this door here, but I can't click on it.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
What the?
No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
This shouldn't have bent like this. What the hell?
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work and it really paid off, so good job. Oh no, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
Hey!
Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time.
It's gone.
I have to restart.
Hey. I will say that place did look familiar. It looked like one of the prop hunt maps. What in the world?
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Okay. Okay. Follow the line.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Oh, hell yeah! Hell yeah, I like this. This is fucking great! Okay.
Wait, cut the music. Go
Aw.
back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Got it, I think.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is
Yeah.
any of this ringing a bell?
I'm over here now. How the hell?
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with
private.
it. Restart.
Wait. What the hell is going on? Okay.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Yeah, I like it.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
At first I was thinking I'm stuck in the back rooms, and then all of a sudden I was looping. I was like, oh no, it's Silent Hill PT. And now we're kind of back on track. Okay.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
It's kind of going the way I'm going, so. I can't go that way, so.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Okay.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination, so I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
I heard an alarm and I turned around to look. Also, there was a cuck chair in there, and then I think we were on the 5th restart? No, the 4th restart. Yeah, I looked over at the 8th, and it said, the narrator leaves, and then Stanley just dies. What the heck is going on? Hate Mondays, yeah. Can I, like, click anything else in here? Any drawers? Nothing? What is that? G814F1. I saw that earlier, but I didn't quite think about anything.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I kinda don't want to, but okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
I just wanted to see if anything was different in here. I didn't... well, let's clip it through there. I don't think that was supposed to be there. Yeah, I just wanted to see if anything was in here. Is anything gonna happen if I stay in here? No? Okay, let's go then.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, yeah, because then I could do the escape one.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
So instead of going to the microchip room, I'm gonna go to the way that says escape. Still don't know what this is.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Nope.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
What? Yellow, Stanley.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Maybe I should. No, I'm already this far. Alrighty then. Oh, and I'm still following. Ow! My entire leg.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. I didn't think you actually made that!
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as
the hell are
Stanley
you?
was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Thank you, lady. You sound like the announcer lady from TF2.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
I don't know. What in...
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Wait, hold on, what? Office layout. Board. It was right now the other one here. I want to read that. Office layout. This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game. Section had been added and altered throughout development. The core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. Corridor. The pacing of this opening section was important to get right. This corridor had been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches two doors in a good time. Two doors. The set of two doors open. The set of two open doors was the first concrete piece of the Stanley Parables design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction this room posed. What in the world? This one? No. Got things over here. Filing cabinets, seems about right. Office computers, also seems right. Buttons? Button sounds. A selection of sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of keyboard strokes and a synthesized tone. Okay. The office. Yeah, it seems alright. See this computer over here. Nature paintings, yeah. Stanley's computer. Okay. Now we got the credits here. Two doors. Let's go to this one. Boss's office. I'm glad they went with the red there. Office clock. Still ticking away.
I'm just going to make this easy on you.
I'm sorry?
Then he pushed the number 4.
Hello? Narrator's outtakes. Kevin Bright, the voice of the narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game, roughly
Stanley
3 separate
jumped in the river. Stanley stood on the snow.
times.
When Stanley came to the lift, he traveled upward to the power source at the top of the facility to end this injustice where he was supposed to be in the story.
These clips are early takes from takes
Stanley
that were not
walked
used in the
over
final game.
bridge.
Narrator.
Now look closely, Stanley. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room. Perfect example of poor level design. Textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you'd pick up on intuitively if you had even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. But of course, you being you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here, I'm just going to make this easy on you.
Underground. I don't know why, but that room, the narrator voice outtakes, it felt odd. Freedom ending, that's the first one I got. Hello? Countdown desk. One of the desks from the early versions of the countdown ending. Okay. Freedom ending. For a time, the elevator in the monitor room could go up or down, with freedom above and countdown below. We abandoned this when players found it too difficult to remember what was up and what was down and placed two endings together instead. I'll get to that here in a sec. Game design mock-up. This level that William, the level designer, sent Davey, the writer, as a kind of audition piece. The strength of this level got William hired to design the full game, though much of the environment has changed. The basic layout from this mock-up is still in the game. The world? There's so much in here. The lounge. An early version of the lounge. I'm glad that was the blue one. The office. The apartment timer. What? In a previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending, the timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. Apartment ending? What? The cargo lift. The second version of the is functional the same as what's in the final game, but we wanted it to look more like a place where cargo is actually stored. The cargo lift. The cargo lift was always intended to offer the choice of staying on or jumping to a different path. However, after this early version, we decided we also wanted the option for the player falling to their death. Okay, I'll come back to that side here in a second. Okay, so this is that one area. The game is now paused. Begin the game's escape menu. Yeah, I saw it before. For a long time we had an ending that only read ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Unfortunately, very few players realized this was what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. So there's an ending if I begin the game again in the main. Okay, we'll do that some other time. Zending. The screenshot depicts an early version of the ending known as Zending, which was eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. The Zending model. The Zending went through many iterations. The room represents the fourth version of the ending, and we thought it was complete, but decided to abandon and change it again shortly before launch. Okay. Zending levers. These levers were originally a part of the Zending. The player would pull a lever and the narrator would describe what color they had pulled. Huh. What's over here? Trailers. We ran 4 major trailers over the course of the game's development, each meant to convey something about the spirit of the game. This is the first one, released on May 2012. It features a series of broken rooms and the voice of the narrator informing viewers that he is preparing a new version of the Stanley Parable. Huh. Meeting room. Maintenance layout. The flow of the hallways following the first 2 doors was important to get right, since players will replay them so many times. We discussed a number of designs, but unlimitedly it was the simplest version that won out. Supposed to be a vent? Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Let's check over here. Narrator's emails. After the second trailer we sent out, we asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we had initially planned to use these further promo materials, we never found the perfect use for them. Here are a selection of those emails. Oh, interesting. Ultra Deluxe announcements. In December 2018, we announced the Ultra Deluxe version of the Stanley Parable at the Game Awards. These are the screenshots of the videos we made for the announcements and the game's delay. Huh. Warzone. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of game. Plus, some people interpreted it as a making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. What the hell? Maintenance room, an early version of the maintenance room. The office. And then I think this just loops, yeah, this just loops back, okay. I guess we go to that one area then. Wait, did I look? I didn't look over here. This is all Stanley's office, just... Stanley's office. From left to right, the evolution of Stanley's office over time. The first was created on November 2011, the second on March 2012, and the third February 2013. So this is the office that we know. This is how it lays out. He was gonna have 2 computers at one point. Huh. Alright. I want to go back to here real quick, to the narrator's voice lines for a second. I just want to... I don't know, just something about it.
Now look closely, Stanley. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room. Perfect example of poor level design, textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you'd pick up on intuitively if you had even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here, I'm just going to make this easy on you. Oh, I don't know. How about they're throwing a surprise party for him for all his button pushing? Now then, does that sound plausible to you? Sure, we'll get him right back on track to where he was supposed to be in the story.
I think I just wanted to hear his voice, because... to be honest, not hearing his voice, even though I haven't played this long, it's odd. Alright, let's...
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you.
Okay. Well, it said this was one of the endings, so... And we're back here. I think I'm gonna end it here for now. Yeah, I think I am. That altered my brain a bit, and I don't know how to feel about it. So, thank y'all for watching. I will be playing more of this game. I heard that there were multiple endings, and from what we saw, there are multiple endings. Yeah, I'll leave a link in the description to this game. It's available on Steam. But yeah, thank y'all for watching, and thank y'all for joining me on this adventure, the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.